Hello, vinyl community, and welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today, I've got a quick little video to give you my impressions on the latest album by Wilson Hackensack West. Now, this is on Cohearent Records, which is Kevin Gray's label. Hackensack West is actually the name of his studio as well. Thought that was kind of a neat little title for the album. But this was just released maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I picked this up from Mike down at the In Groove. He is the distributor of Cohearent Records. You can get them anywhere, however, but Mike is the distributor down at the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. So I've been listening to this album quite a bit lately, just kind of getting a grip on the sound, and really more than the sound, the music. The music on this album, you know, coming from Kevin Gray's Cohearent Records, kind of like the Kristen Edkins album, that his first album on his new record label, Cohearent Records. We're expecting an audiophile album, and we certainly got it. This is definitely an audiophile type of album, but I've been listening to it quite intently because of the music. The music is really, really good. Now, Wilson, as many of you well aware, he has many other albums. I have one of his albums back here behind me, and he has several others, but he's also been instrumental in being a session player for several other artists, including Diana Krall. In fact, he's actually toured with Diana Krall quite a bit, and I don't know if he's with her latest tour that she's doing right now or getting prepared to do. I know she's going to be coming close to me later on this summer, which I plan on attending. But I don't know if he is with her during this tour. He has been with her on times that I have seen him in the past, and I've seen her probably 3 or 4 times in concert, and I believe he was with her when they did the concert in Park City, when actually I think I told the story of Diana Krall's husband being there as well, and we were just sitting a few feet from him, Elvis Costello, which was, anyway, not to get off on the subject here. So the music on the album is actually really, really good. And that's really what I've been focusing on the past week and a half since I've had this album, listening to it quite intently, not just because it's an audiophile album, but just for the music itself. Wilson has, I believe, written most all of the songs on here. There's one entitled Marlene, which was written by Todd Rundgren, which is it's a great song, and I'm going to kind of go through that with you. But I just kind of want to show you quickly the album cover that you're getting, and I'll keep in mind these are $30, not $40. I think you're getting a great value here, not just because of the quality of the sound, but the quality of the music. And the gatefold cover is excellent, as you can see. I'll try and open that up and let you see, and you can kind of see the musicians there. Wilson obviously playing guitar, Gerald Clayton on piano, John Clayton on bass, and Jeff Hamilton on drums. Excellent work on the cover. I mean, absolutely wonderful. Let me pull out the album and kind of show you that. Of course, Kevin Gray in his studio, it's all tube electronics, and so all valve system, so it's complete all analog. I don't know if you can see that, if it makes any difference to you to see that, but 180 gram pressed at RTI. Excellent sound on this album. You certainly are expecting audiophile quality when you purchase this album, based on how it was recorded, where it was recorded, the musicians involved, and most certainly the engineer that's involved. And you're certainly getting that. Just really quickly inside, I just want to point this out really quick before I get into my thoughts on the music. Inside here, this lists the songs that Anthony Wilson has commented on, and a little bit about what he was thinking and how the songs were derived in his mind as he wrote them. And of course, Marlene was written by Todd Rundgren, and he talks a little bit about that and why he did that song and how he really likes that song. But I was listening to this album. Of course, I was listening for sonics, the quality of the recording as well, because like I said, it's an audiophile album, and so you're listening for the sonics and whatnot. Well, forget about the sonics just for a second and listen to the music. The music on this album is absolutely wonderful. And then, of course, there is the sonics. And let me just kind of talk to you a little bit about each song and the sonics and my impressions as I've listened to this for, I don't know, the past week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. I've been putting this off and on, listening to others. Yeah, I did the Cars, Candy-O in the middle of all of this. I've been working on American Beauty by the Grateful Dead as well. And so I've been listening to a lot of other things, but then coming back to this and listening to it quite intently as well. But let me just kind of give you my impressions of each of these 6 songs that are on the album. And then I'll kind of wrap this up. This is not going to be a long video, so I don't want to get too wordy with this. But on side 1, Daido opens with bass guitar, with bass and guitar. Clean and detailed with excellent resolution. Percussion and piano are excellent. It's a very nice, laid back, catchy, it's a catchy tune. This song is great for the opening cut. But the sonics, of course, are excellent. Everything integrated perfectly. A stage is created in front of you. It's really quite impressive when you sit down and listen to it. But you, like I say, you kind of forget about those sonics just for a second as you're listening to really, really good music. Verdes, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Piano in here is great. Gerald Clayton's piano sounds amazing in here. Drums are right of stage. You can actually hear the strikes of the brushes on the drums. Guitar is just slightly to the left on, at least through my system. Very well balanced, extremely excellent in detail, and so clean, very, very clean. Sunday, which is the last song on side 1, he wrote this on a Sunday. And so it kind of opens up kind of mellow, kind of slow, and slightly builds a little bit. Not a really over-aggressive song in playing, but really a wonderful, wonderful song. Guitar, bass sound extremely sweet. As indicated in the song before, you can actually hear the brushes strike the drums with with clarity. Bass playing is excellent, with excellent resolution and depth on this cut. Moving over to side 2, the lands. Probably, in my opinion, the best cut on the album. Upbeat, excellent, excellent percussion and drums. The drums on this cut in particular just sound excellent, with perfect authoritative bottom end without any hint of exaggeration. Excellent balance, very fine detail. Piano is awesome as well. The bass, of course, is incredible. And of course, Anthony's guitar is clean and precise and sounds so excellent. I think it's the best cut on the album. Marlene, bass is solid and extended. Now, if you recall, this is Todd Rundgren's song that he wrote and that Anthony is covering. Guitar is clean and well balanced with the piano. Percussion and bass are excellent. This is kind of a more laid back song. Certainly more laid back than the Lands, the song before it, but a great, great, excellent song. Hackensack West, last song on the album. It's upbeat, not quite as upbeat as the Lands. Great piano playing. Bass is very, very nice on here. Percussion has great detail and impact. The guitar, Anthony's guitar, is superb. To wrap this album up, to be honest with you, as indicated, it's an audiophile album for sure. The sound quality is excellent, but I don't want to just portray this as an audiophile only album. The music on here is absolutely great. It sounds wonderful. My concluding thoughts on this album were this: overall great album. Excellent sonics with extremely good music. Nothing is over-exaggerated. Instruments are properly placed with air around them, allowing the recording studio or the room that they were doing this in to really appear through your eyes. To me, and outside right now as I'm doing this video, it's kind of snowing out there. This is the perfect album to sit down with and listen on a Sunday, a dreary, cold day, or just for whatever. Maybe you want to relax and just kick back. This is the perfect album to do that. But I tell you what, don't expect to be falling asleep in this album. This album is going to remind you just how wonderful the recording is and how wonderful the sound is. Microdynamics in this album are stunning, to say the least. Things are just absolutely placed perfectly. I tell you one thing right here and now: put this album on, turn the lights down, and you are there. What a great album. Hackensack West by Anthony Wilson, the second album from Cohearent Records. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. If you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate that. But as always, please leave comments in the comment section below. I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for your responses on my other videos. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Until next time, have a great day.